For today's Cyber CEO episode,
he pulls reports on expireds and all the updates in MLS so that we know what has changed in the market overnight. He is taking all the incoming voicemail inquiries, all the email, which is huge because we get a phenomenal amount of email incoming inquiries on listings. So he gets those leads, he processes them. So that's a huge time saver. He's very competent, but he's very reliable. If we give him a task, there's no question that it will get done. All of the tasks that have been given to him are done and done well.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Janet, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
All right. Now, first off, we'd like to thank you for your time. I know you have a lot of things to do. We really, really appreciate you being here today. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start
Sure.
with, what's your role in the business?
Sure. So my name is Janet. I'm the owner of a commercial real estate firm. And we do our business in 3 states, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Florida.
Oh, so how long have you been in the business, by the way? 10 years. A lot of experience for you, of course. Now, how about working with someone virtual? Is this your first time?
It is our second time, and it is a completely different experience from the first time. We have had in-house admin, and we have had 2 virtual. This is our second virtual experience.
Gotcha. Okay. So a better experience, I'm assuming then. Am I right?
Yes. Surprisingly better, because we thought that the other experience was good until we used Cyberbacker, and then the experience has been totally different. But we didn't know what we didn't know.
So Cyberbacker took it to another level then. Am I right?
Exactly.
Now, how did you find out about Cyberbacker in the first place?
I was trying to think about how that was. I don't know it other than I believe that a couple of other Keller Williams agents are involved with Cyberbacker in a variety of levels, and that's what caught our attention.
Okay, so somewhat word of mouth then, something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk more about your Cyberbacker experience. And first, before you got to work with Genesis, your Cyberbacker, you went through the hiring process. So how did that experience go?
So the hiring process was much quicker than I expected. It was more difficult than I expected, only that there were several good options. So it was difficult to choose who was going to be the best fit. And so I would say that was the only difficult part. But the process, the amount of quality candidates, and how quickly we were able to interview those people that had already been pre-screened, that process was so efficient and so easy. It was kind of shocking.
There we go. So you didn't experience that before in your other virtual experience then? Not really.
Yeah, that seemed to be a good process. This was just a much more concentrated process. We had our Cyberbacker, not our Cyberbacker, but our other virtual assistant for several years. And I have to say, we were paying more, and we were not getting the same amount of, it was good, and we liked her very much. We had it for a long time. But the amount of productivity we're getting from our Cyberbacker is much better.
All right, that's good to know. Now, talk to me about Genesis then. Going through the hiring process, how did you know that 𝗙𝗃 was the perfect cyberbacker for what you needed in your business?
I can't take credit for that. So my husband and I work together. He works on the operations, and he was part of those interviews as well. And because he works very closely with 𝗙𝗃 and on a day-to-day basis, and I'm kind of just like up here, observing and reaping the benefit. So I really deferred to my husband on making that choice, and I believe that it was his experience in all things technology that made him believe that he was the better of two excellent choices.
Okay, so that's how you made the decision then. And how long have you been working with 𝗙𝗃?
I think it's been at least 6 months.
6 months. So fairly new partnership then, am I right?
Right.
Yes. Now, what are the tasks that you leverage off to 𝗙𝗃 every day?
He pulls reports on expireds and all the updates in MLS so that we know what has changed in the market overnight. So he sends that report to all of our agents first thing. He is taking all the incoming voicemail inquiries, all the email, which is huge because we get a phenomenal amount of email and voicemail every day. So he will process all of that. So he will send that to whoever needs to get it. He puts all of that into the RealNext system. He's been so that's a huge time saver. Incoming inquiries on listings. We have between 20 and 30 listings at any time. So there's a lot of incoming inquiries. So he gets those leads, he processes them, he puts them in the correct categories, and then assigns those leads.
So a lot of admin tasks then is what he does for your business. A lot. Now, I know it's only been 6 months between a partnership between your business and 𝗙𝗃. So obviously, your cyberbacker's growth is going to be continuous, continue growing and learning with you. Now, what are some of the new things that you got planned for him to do, let's say within the next 3 to 6 months from today? New tasks.
Good question. Right now he is entering listings in all the systems. So the operations person is putting all of that, creating the first listing, and then there are multiple systems for it to go into. That's something that's, a huge time saver. He's gotten very good at doing that.
Oh, okay. That's going to be exciting because, again, more things for him to do, of course, more opportunities to grow. Now,
correct.
Again, 6 months into the fairly new partnership, how did this become a successful working relationship between you and 𝗙𝗃? Because for sure, some of our listeners might have a difficult time transitioning to the virtual world. So do you have any tips that you can share with our listeners?
Well, one of the things that is different that he does is every day he sends us an end of day report. And we didn't request that. It's part of what he does. And it's interesting to just see what he has done for the day. It's a sense of relief that we know that things aren't falling through the cracks.
Oh, and someone is accountable for him, those things.
Correct. Yes.
Accountability. So end of day reports, of course, that just shows how accountable your cyberbacker is. But aside from that, what else did you do to have a successful partnership with 𝗙𝗃?
Well, there's daily communication, FaceTime daily to go over, ongoing to do ongoing training and work. So he works very closely with Bill, who's our director of operations, and I think that's he's handing things off a little at a time, ongoing training. But he's very willing to learn, and yes, yeah.
Very willing to learn. Now, we've been talking about 𝗙𝗃 for a while now. So for sure, once we have this online, he's going to be able to watch and listen to this. So we'd like to know, what do you like most about 𝗙𝗃? What's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about your cyberbacker?
He's very competent, but he's very reliable. If we give him a task, there's no question that it will get done. We don't have to worry about, we don't have to babysit and to make sure that tasks are done. It's very nice to know that we can be confident that all of the tasks that have been given to him are done and done well.
There we go. Now, we are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, Janet, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.